Here we have inserted a couple of documents. We can now use other commands to verify that the data is there. For instance, one of the commands is that we can show all the collections that we currently have. Right now we just have a single collection, the users collection. So once we have a collection in the database, we can then query to see if the data has been stored in there. We can use the command DB. All the commands start with DB. All the commands that apply to a particular collection. Right? So DB dot the name of the collection, in this case users, and then to retrieve data from the database, we can use the function find. So dot find is going to retrieve all the records that are not records, documents that have been stored in a collection. And notice that it's a little bit hard to read, so we can pretty print this output so that it's a little bit easier to read. We can pipe these the results of a command into commands such as pretty, and pretty will pretty print the output so that it's a little bit easier to read for us. We'll notice that here that we have all the fields that we had added in there, the username, password, first, last, right, for all the three users that we added. There's an additional field, right, that we didn't create. There's it's called _ID. It's the primary key that uniquely identifies each one of these records, right? So that you can retrieve these by ID, by username, by password, right? You can retrieve them by the field, right? So we can do that. We can do in our find. We can say that we want a specific document. Find without any arguments means I want all the documents, right? Instead, if you provide here an object, you can filter and say that you can provide predicate and say that you don't want all the documents, you want the ones that meet a particular criteria. So for instance, you might want only the document whose username is Alice. Right? In that case, it just returns one single document. So there we have it. So we can do some light communication back and forth with the database and retrieve it. We know that there's there's data in the server now, and we can then interact not only with the console, but perhaps with libraries outside, connecting to the server remotely.